Are you new to Taekwondo sparring? If so, here are 3 pieces of advice that could really help you out starting out. Number 1, don't make winning your goal in class. Imagine a 6-year-old child playing chess with his father. And imagine that his father has played chess for years. Now, what are the odds that the 6-year-old can beat his father? I suppose it's not impossible, but it's pretty low odds. Now, if the child is obsessed with winning and the father isn't taking it easy on them, then they're going to have a bad experience playing chess. On the other hand, if they're just enjoying the game and learning about the process, then they're going to have fun whether they win or lose. And the same is true with Taekwondo. When you're sparring with someone who's significantly more experienced than you are, which is probably going to be the case when you start out, they're going to have physical advantages in that they've built the right physical attributes for sparring. And those things take years. And they're going to have the reflexive advantage from just doing more sparring than you have. So that's a big advantage. If you go into those matches in class and you think, I've got to win, you're going to get discouraged real quick. You're going to feel like you got beat up every time. Now, on the other hand, if you think about it like the child playing chess with his father, and you're there to enjoy the game and learn and just take in the process, you're going to pick up a lot. Now, think of this kid when they turn 12 and they've been playing chess with their dad now for 6 years. They're probably pretty darn good at chess at that point, and they might start beating their father. The same is true in Taekwondo. You put 6 years into sparring with top people and you try to learn from every match, you're going to get better. And you're going to get to the point where that 6 years can beat their 20, depending on your attributes. So what should you focus on when you're sparring in class? Well, first of all, understand that I would estimate at least about 90% of the techniques that you throw or more are going to fail. Now, the good news is every time a technique fails, your brain is logging it. That one didn't work because I'm too close. That one didn't work because I'm too far away. That one didn't work because they moved in a certain manner. And every time your brain logs that data, it's going to get better and better at letting you land the shots down the road. So don't get discouraged when the shots don't land. Throw them anyway. Throw them and learn to calculate the right moments by throwing shots. So, 1, just have fun throwing shots. 2, make little mini goals for yourself. So if an advanced student keeps tagging you in the head with a certain kick, don't make your goal to beat them in a sparring match. Make your goal not getting kicked by that one kick as much as possible. Oh, they got me twice with that last round. Next time I spar with them, it's only going to be 1 time. And then the time after that, I'm not going to let them do it at all. Remember that if you can just learn good defense, you're making huge progress. So even if you don't land a single technique on someone, but you've successfully dodged 8 out of 10 of their techniques, that's awesome. Good for you. Keep it up. And eventually, over time, all that data is going to add up and you'll be really good at sparring. Just got to plug away at it. Tip number 2, choose good partners to spar with. Now, the Taekwondo dojang you're attending hopefully has the right kind of people in it who are looking to help you become better at sparring. If there are a bunch of big ego heads there and they just want to beat up on you, then obviously that's not going to create a good experience for you, particularly if you're getting injured. So if you go into sparring with senior students and you're regularly getting hurt from it, that's probably going to traumatize you into not liking sparring at all. In fact, I can't think of anyone who would stick with sparring if they're getting injured every time. Understand when I say injured, I don't mean like a bump on your shin. I mean injuries to the head, the face, to the ribs from excessive kicking. Those kinds of things that are just a little extreme. Not your average bumps and bruises that are just a byproduct of sparring. So choose people who are willing to help you grow, who understand that if you get better, ultimately that's going to make them better too, because they're going to have partners who can help them practice. And when you guys are both a little bit more even, you can challenge each other more. So senior students should understand that they're building future sparring training partners, and you should work with people like that. If there's someone who injures you that you don't like working with because you're getting hurt working with them, refuse to spar them. You don't have to spar anybody. That's not a requirement of life. You get to choose what you do. And I would suggest that if there's a Taekwondo dojo that's forcing you to spar with someone who's injuring you, that might not be the right environment to be training in. Most schools that I know wouldn't encourage that kind of behavior from a senior student and would be totally understanding of a student who wants to pass on a partner who's causing them injury. So choose good partners. Tip number 3, focus on a small toolbox of techniques. If you're putting together a toolbox for your house, everybody needs a screwdriver. Not very many people need a jackhammer. So in the context of Taekwondo, pick the techniques that are most important to work on and get those down first. Really, you only need a handful, in my opinion. You need something that goes straight, which is going to be your cut kick or side kick. Something that comes around, which is going to be your front and back leg roundhouse kick. And something that comes around from close range, which would be something like a crescent kick. If you just focus on those, your front leg side kick, front leg roundhouse, back leg roundhouse, and crescent kick, that's a huge amount of things to work on. Everything else is going to be about timing, spacing, and what your opponent's doing, their profiles, and learning when to use those techniques. Remember, boxing or fencing, they only have a few moves as well. So it's not about a huge toolbox, it's about getting really good at using those basic tools. Now once you've got those down and you can competently land those techniques and you have competent defense, you can move in the right positions, stay safe moving, then you can start adding more complicated tools, because that's not to say those things are bad. They can be useful. I've seen lots of jump spinning hook kicks land in sparring matches, and those score a lot of points and they can cause a knockout in a tournament which will win you the match. I've seen that before. Is it the most common way to win? Absolutely not. Get down the essential pieces before moving into the realm of complex stuff. I know it looks cool. I know it looks cool, and I know you think that those things are going to be really neat and powerful and impressive and you can put them in a highlight reel, but they're very difficult to land, and you'll get a lot better at landing them if you understand the fundamentals first. So start with a small toolbox and expand out from there. Hope these tips help you in your sparring. Good luck, be patient, don't give up, persevere, and enjoy your Taekwondo journey.